Hey everyone, how's it going? Today is February 19th, 2018. In this video, I'm going to talk about the numerology of the Anthony Weiner saga, which may be coming to a close as he was recently released from prison over the past couple days. Now, if you think that the fact that this man is named Weiner and he's the politician who's been primarily in the news for sending pictures of his wiener to women on the internet, I'm going to show you a lot more coincidences that you'll need to get over before you understand that this man is just part of the Masonic puppet show that is our United States federal government. And he is an actor participating in an agenda centered around making sexual deviancy seem normal. And if you disagree with my introduction in this post, that there is an agenda to push sexual deviancy into the public, consider this TED Talk from just this year, 2018, where this woman gets up in front of the group and says that pedophilia is a sexual orientation and that it shouldn't be treated like a crime but a mental disorder. If this is your belief, please close this video, leave this channel, never come back, because you don't belong on this earth watching the truth, seeing what's going on. And you can see that this is clearly an agenda being pushed and not something that the public wants. Look at the thumbs down on this video, 6.2 thousand to less than 600. So over 90% of the people, well over 90%, think that this woman is crazy. Real quickly, let's take a look at the base 4 Gematria ciphers. We start with English ordinal, each letter numbered 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet. We also have the reduction ciphers, which use the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit. Both methods can then be reversed, where Z is 1 and A is 26, for complementary ciphers called reverse. And you may have also seen the English extended and Jewish ciphers scrolling at the beginning of the video. So the first thing I want to point out about Anthony Weiner is how his name sums to 171 in the alphabetic order. A gets the value 1, N 14, T 20, and so on. You add it up, you get 171. And isn't it interesting that there's a Wikipedia page devoted to his sexting scandals? In fact, it has its own page, Anthony Weiner Sexting Scandals. Well, when you copy and paste sexting scandals, you find that it too has a numerical value of 171 in the alphabetic order. This man is coded for his role as a government official. His full name is Anthony David Weiner. Notice how this sums to 94 in full reduction? Well, it just so happens that his birthday is September 4th, written 9/4. In the alphabetic order, Anthony David Weiner equals 211. And this stands out for a particular reason. 2011 was the year that Anthony Weiner first made the news about his sexting pictures on Twitter. In Jewish Gematria, the word Mason sums to 211. And 211 is a prime number. Prime number relationships, very significant to the study. You'll see it's the 47th prime number. And the Freemason compass, set to 47 degrees. In Gematria, the circle equals 47. If you look at his birth numerology, 9 plus 4 plus 19 plus 64, this gives us 96. The word Freemason equals 96 in the alphabetic order. His birthday also has a life lesson number of 33. The word Masonry in reduction equals 33, and it's said that the 33rd degree of Masonry is the highest. So now let's look at the date that he first made the news back in 2011. May 27th, 2011. This was a date with 63, 18, and 43 numerology. And first we'll focus on the 63 and 18. The name Anthony Weiner in the reverse alphabetic order equals 63 reduced and 180 ordinal. In numerology, the zeros can be dropped, so this 180 represents an 18. Furthermore, the date had 43 numerology, which is the gematria of Masonic, in the reverse alphabetic order. Also notice how Masonic equals 74. This is the same as Weiner, 74. He was caught sending dick pics, which equals 74, and he was using Twitter. Twitter equals 74 in reverse ordinal. 74, a very important number to the code. Think about how simple equals 74. The language we're speaking, English 74, and Gematria, the code by which English is created, also sums to 74. That date he first made news for his sexting scandal was also the date that leaves 147 days on the calendar. The word Freemason in the reverse order equals 147, and this is a stamp they like to use for their numerical rituals. Numerical equals 147, as does the word knowledge. I suppose it's relevant too, the word conspiracy, 147. There's another reduction method called single reduction, and the only difference here between single and full reduction is the letter S. Because S is the 19th letter, 1 plus 9 equals 10. So in this method, it's only reduced once. The words Masonic and Weiner sum to 38 in this reduction method. I find it interesting, too, that dick pics, 38. The date on which Anthony Weiner made news for his dick pics was a span of exactly 38 weeks after his birthday and 3 months, 8 days before his next birthday. To top it off, he was also exactly 2,438 weeks old. The following month, Anthony Weiner resigned from Congress on a date with 38 numerology, 6 plus 21 plus 11. And 38, a number we see commonly coded into death rituals. Obviously, this man not dying here in the case, but the end of his political career nonetheless. Speaking of his resignation from Congress, it took place on the date June 16th of 2011. Now, this date is written 6/16. In the English Kabbalah, a cipher discussed by Aleister Crowley, which uses every 11th letter in the alphabet, ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry equals 616. What's also interesting about June 16th is that it can be written 16/6, and Freemasonry is the most ubiquitous secret society. Notice how secret society equals 166. I guess this 940 stands out as well, considering Anthony David Weiner, whose name sums to 94, was born on 9/4. On the date that he announced he was going to resign for Congress, which was, again, June 16th of 2011, we find he was a span of 17,087 days old. What stands out here is the 787. This is the Jewish value of Freemasonry, 787. Now, in the alphabetic order, Freemasonry equals 139. The name Weiner equals 1039 in Jewish Gematria, and the date on which his replacement election was held in New York was September 13th, which is written 13/9. The date he announced his resignation also had numerology of 58. In reduction gematria, Freemasonry equals 58. The word masonry equals 105. That same date was also 10 weeks and 5 days before his 47th birthday. Again, 47, the number of degrees on the Freemasonic compass. The compass has something called the pole star at the top of it. Pole star in reverse gematria equaling 47. Well, Anthony Weiner wasn't done. Despite being publicly shamed and showing that he was unfit to run a family, much less one of the most populated cities in the world, his campaign went ahead nonetheless, and people still decided to work for him and try to get him elected, which is crazy, but let's continue. So back in 2013, while he was running for mayor, another sexting scandal began on July 23rd, 2013. And check out the date numerology of that date. Does this look familiar? 63 and 18. This is the same date numerology that his first texting scandal broke out on, 63 and 18. And again, this is because in Gematria, Anthony Weiner equals 63 and 180. What's especially comical about this story is how Anthony Weiner, whose name sums to 72 and 63, he was sending pictures under an alias, Carlos Danger. Check out how Carlos Danger also sums to 63 with the S exception and 72 reverse. And then to top things off, look at the name of the woman he was sending dick pics to this time. Her name was Sydney Leathers. And look at this, Sydney Leathers, 63, 72, just like Anthony Weiner and Carlos Danger. You might also notice her name sums to 180 in the alphabetic order. Anthony Weiner, 180, reverse. So even after he was kicked from the mayoral race, Anthony Weiner just kept going. This time, it was August 28th, 2016, on which the New York Post reported that he sexted another woman. Well, this time the date numerology was not 63, but it was 63 months after the date on which he first got caught sexting. In fact, the day before was exactly 63 months. As far as the date numerology, 8 plus 28 plus 20 plus 16 equals 72. And again, in reduction, Anthony Weiner sums to 72. Worth noting also is that when he was sentenced to prison back in 2017, that was 63 days after his birthday. So earlier this week, we got word that Anthony Weiner was released from prison. Now he's going to spend some time in a halfway house until May 14th. Now, May 14th, this is an interesting date. This practice of Gematria, which again sums to 74 in ordinal, being practiced here in English, which equals 74, but it originated as a Jewish practice. See how Jewish equals 74. And it's no secret that Anthony Weiner is Jewish. Israel, which is the home of Judaism, celebrates their Independence Day on May 14th, the date on which Anthony Weiner was scheduled to get released. However, he did not get released on 5/14. He instead got released 5 months and 14 days after his birthday. The date on which he was released also had the same numerology as the date on which he resigned from Congress back in 2011. So again, if it wasn't strange enough that a politician with the name Weiner was the one in the mainstream media for sending pics of his wiener to everybody, well, now you got a lot more to deal with. Because as I'm revealing, this man is nothing but a numeric ritual who is pushing an agenda onto the American population. This federal government at war with the minds of the people. Not here to help us, but here to steer and guide us. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up this video. If you're sticking around live, please hang around for a little while longer tonight. I'm going to do some more videos. All right, everyone. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya.